Hello and welcome to UK's Strongest Man 2013. If you're watching this on a television, and I'm guessing you are, then you're watching Challenge. Congratulations. This is TNA Wrestling Wunderkind, Nick Aldis.
And this is,
All-round good egg, Matt Bell.
All-round good egg, Matt Bell. You join us in Belfast for a battle of unstoppable forces, immovable objects and muscle and cliches, the likes of which you've never seen before in your entire life.
16 men have been broken down into 2 groups of 8. 4 men have gone home, which means there are 12 men left standing with hands like leather shovels. They're pumped up and they are raring to take that top spot.
But before we get into today's action, let's remind ourselves of what happened in round 1 for Group A.
Ed Hall, adjudged not to have crossed the line by the referee, and that has cost him valuable seconds. Meanwhile, it's Tom Shaw who gets over the finish line first. Terrific display, Ed Hall, not a happy man. Ed Hall stands alone and then engages in conversation with the crowd and holding it for an inordinate amount of time. Ed Hall is the winner of the Monster Strong Axle Press. But Ed Hall knows that he's in such a commanding position that he's going to take the event off. Hoist it up and becomes the first man to get all 5 stones up onto the plinth. Ed Hall, who didn't even attempt a single stone, safe in the knowledge that he is through to the second day. But what a performance by Tom Shaw. So Nathan Llewellyn securing his passage through to day 2, and you really have to feel for Mark Hunter, who was eliminated despite having the same number of points as the Welshman.
Picture the scene. You're driving your 17.5-ton Leyland DAF 18-wheeler up the A406. Your truck gets caught in a ditch. What are you going to do about it?
You could call a tow truck, or you could be mates with this man, 4-time world's strongest man, Magnus from Magnuson. Magnus, take us through this event.
Well, basically we call this the arm over arm pull. It's a truck pull. You do the arm over arm with a rope. And it's 20 meters course, and you try to do it as fast as possible.
As simple as that.
So the first athlete to the start line in preparation for this arm over arm truck pull. Welshman Nathan Llewellyn, 32 years of age, stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 134 kilograms. And even though those are big numbers, not the largest amount of body weight, so could well find this event a little bit difficult. Overcoming that initial inertia, and you can see him using his legs, using every muscle group in his body, and groaning with every exertion, doing a pretty good job of keeping the rope tight. The grip really tested during the course of this event. And that 12-ton truck just inching, far too slowly perhaps for Nathan Llewellyn's liking. And it really is getting difficult now. Getting closer towards that finish line, which can't come soon enough. The grip just beginning to fail him, but he's continuing to fight and compete. And it really is a struggle now. Just look how it's inching inexorably towards that finish line. It's the wheels that have to get over. One final effort from Nathan Llewellyn, and he's done it. A lung-busting effort from Nathan Llewellyn. His time, just under a minute, 57 seconds for the Welshman.
Nathan, you're breathing heavy there and looked like a tough event.
First event of the day as well, after yesterday. Hardly any energy. It didn't go too bad, better than what I thought, but could have done a little bit better.
So the next athlete to the start line is Ireland's Pat O'Dwyer, the 3rd place finisher in Ireland's strongest man. 6 feet 1 inches tall, a relatively light 130 kilograms. Seen the marker that's been laid down by Nathan Llewellyn. And just the start to overcome that initial inertia once more, but then terrific speed being employed. The rope staying relatively tight. And this really is an impressive start from Pat O'Dwyer. Terrific speed, the truck continuing to move. Hardly any slack in that rope. He's well over the halfway stage of the 20-meter course with that 12-ton truck, beginning to feel the pace and the effort now, but still demonstrating terrific energy and speed throughout this truck pull, encouraged by the crowd on hand here. And the final few pulls in an effort to get it over that line, but he set a terrific time, breaks the 40-second barrier, and will go into a commanding lead. And that is a fairly sprightly walk back to the recovery area, considering the effort he's just put forth. Well done. So to the start line now, Ireland's strongest man, Johnny Kelly, reigning champion, winner in 2011 of the national title as well. And now he takes to the start line, just 120 kilos, and that lack of body weight providing a real stern challenge in an effort to get that truck moving. But now that it is on the move, he's doing a good job of taking the slack out of the rope, using the legs to terrific effect, leaning back, working that grip on what is a really thick piece of rope. The truck remaining on the move, past the halfway stage of the course, and just perhaps losing a little bit of momentum now. And you can see that in his efforts. It really is a struggle for Johnny Kelly, but he's continuing to battle all the way through in an effort to get this truck over the finish line. Being encouraged by the MC, being encouraged by the crowd, the last few pulls in an effort to get it over the line. The forearms will be burning, the grip wanting to give out, but Johnny Kelly continuing to compete. Breaks the minute barrier. 55.47 seconds in the final analysis. That was hard work for the Irish champion. He moves into second place as things stand.
How you feeling, mate?
Tired.
How did you do?
No, not very well. Just didn't get a good rhythm going and just end up hard pull all the way. So.
Is that the secret? Is it momentum? Is it just finding
just a good
your
start.
pace?
Get a good start, get the speed up and then keep it going. Just the start didn't get enough quick pulls in, so didn't have the pace come the end.
So to the start line is Adam Bishop, 24 years of age, 6'3" tall, another athlete weighing in at 120 kilograms, and last year's winner of the Junior UK Strongest Man, competing with the bigger athletes now, and said that he's been concentrating on trying to add more bulk to transition effectively through to the senior ranks. He's overcome the initial inertia. The truck now on the move, but plenty of slack still being exhibited in that rope. Using his levers to good effect, really getting low. And being encouraged to use the legs from exhortations in the crowd. Now he's getting some momentum on the truck, the slack lessening in the rope as he approaches the finish line. Good effort this from Adam Bishop. He'll be well inside the 50-second mark. Will he break 40 seconds? Just over. 41.86 seconds for Adam Bishop. Moves into second place, but doesn't appear altogether happy with the performance he's just produced.
How many times have you done an arm-over-arm truck pull?
Yeah, quite a few, but every truck pull's different. It depends on obviously the truck and the gradient, etc. So,
I've been talking to a lot of guys today, and it seems to be the forearms, the grip, and the lungs. Is that
yeah, very much so. It's the grip issue with quite a thick rope, so you just got to keep pulling as hard as you can.
So here is the reigning UK Strongman champion, Ed Hall. We talked about how size and bulk are assets in this event. Ed Hall, one of the biggest athletes here, at 6'2" and 140 kilograms. He could well lay down a marker as to what is a good time in this arm-over-arm truck pull. 143 kilograms is Ed Hall. And you can see the forearms bulging and now not even bothering to use the legs. And this a terrific show of strength from the reigning UK champion, even employing a reverse grip with that left hand. What a show of strength being exhibited by the reigning champion. And how intimidating will this be for the rest of the field? A blistering time, 34 seconds. He goes into first place by a proverbial country mile. Didn't bother using his legs for the second half of the pull, and one of his big rivals from Group B, Ben Kelsey, scratching his head in bewilderment.
We're just having a chat to Alex about your performance today. You seem to do pretty well. Happy with yourself?
Yeah, quite happy. Obviously, start of the day I want to try my hardest and then hopefully ease off towards the end, as always.
Does it help having Alex here? A bit of moral support?
England. Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in the background that needs doing. I need feeding. I need fluids. I need stuff getting for me. So it's great to have me in little slave here.
You're a gentleman as ever. Cheers, Eddie.
Thank you. Cheers.
Take care.
So having just seen Ed Hall lay down a really impressive time, what type of response will that produce from Tom Shaw? 6'5" tall, 140 kilograms, the same weight as Ed Hall. Will those longer levers prove to be an advantage? Remember, during the first qualification, what was effectively the quarterfinal, he and Ed Hall went head-to-head, toe-to-toe throughout the course of the competition. Will it prove to be the case here in semi-final Group A? He's got the truck moving to good effect, using his legs, getting some real good leverage to keep the slack out of that rope. The truck moving at a good clip towards the finish line. Just becoming a bit of a struggle now, but a really impressive time laid down in response. It's not quicker than Ed Hall, but it moves him into second place. And their battle from the quarterfinals continues here in the semis.
Close but no cigar. Defending champ Eddie Hall pipped you by a couple of seconds.
By just using arms and not even his legs. I think he was showing off, to be fair. No, I'm happy with that. I was normally pull full body length because I'm tall, make use of it, but with that rope, it just goes too slack. So quick. My gut didn't get too much in the way, so it was all right.
So having negotiated his abdomen successfully, he moves into second place, 36.16 seconds for Tom Shaw. But what a performance from Ed Hall, beating all comers, using just his arm for the second half of the pull to take the maximum points after the first event.
Now this next event is a genuine, authentic Icelandic event, and a little factoid about Iceland is that they still believe in elves, and this little thing here does look a bit like an elf's coffin, but I don't think that's the mythology attached to it. Here to tell us more is Magnus Magnuson, four-time world's strongest man. What is this thing?
Well, this is a replica of original stone in Iceland called the Husafell stone, which is originated in the countryside, and it was used, the story says, as a gate for a sheep's carol.
Oh, okay.
All right, and the legend says that the farmer's daughter picked it up, walked around the cattle with it, and put it down again. That's like 45 meters.
And there's an original Icelandic version of it, isn't there? There's an authentic Husafell stone.
Yeah, from the nature. So this is kind of replica of that.
So if a farmer's daughter can carry it, hopefully these guys should have no problem whatsoever.
From Wales, Nathan Llewellyn.
So Nathan Llewellyn, the first athlete to the start line in this second event, the Husafell Stone. And after that sixth place finish in the truck pull, this should be an event that favours the former rugby player. Anything that involves dynamism, anything that involves movement and endurance, Nathan Llewellyn could well come into his own. And look at the pace he's setting down the first leg of this 15-metre course. Over the finish line now. Looking for a turn? Well, no. He's electing to almost moonwalk with that Husafell stone backwards. Down it goes. So it's over 15 meters, but I'm not sure walking backwards is permitted. It's a technique I've never seen before, and it's going to be interesting to see how the judges interpret that.
Nathan, that was going really well for you up until about halfway. What happened?
Right, I got told beforehand the weight felt quite comfy, but beforehand I got told that if I wanted to, I didn't have to turn. I could backtrack on myself, because with the turn I'd start losing it.
Right.
And it's harder on the quads anyway. So if I backtrack, it's easier. So I done it. Didn't know it was against the rules. So they're allowing me to go again, otherwise I'd be disqualified. I think they're taking pity on me, to be honest.
So you get to have another go?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good at least.
I've used a bit of energy though, so I'm worried. I'm worried on this score. I might have less, so I don't really know what to do. But that's the way it's standing now. Like.
Jonathan Kelly.
So we're going to have to wait and see what happens with Nathan Llewellyn as to whether he takes the option of rerunning the course of the Husafell Stone. But to the start line is Johnny Kelly. Crucial part of the technique is getting to grips with that 186 kilogram stone. Unusual shape. But now that he's on the move, he really is going effectively down this 15-meter course. Again, one of the lighter, more athletic competitors at just 130 kilograms, and that's an effective turn. So well over the 15-meter halfway stage, just lost the grip there. So over 15 meters for Johnny Kelly, and he moves into first place.
What's the key with an event like this? What do you really look out for? Does the turn make a difference?
Yeah, you want to just keep a steady pace, keep the air coming into your lungs, and get a good grip on the stone, hold on as long as you can.
And apart from that, does it hurt your arms? Does it take a lot out of you?
Yeah, more out your breathing, because you have 180 kilos pulling down on your chest. So trying to get the air in while moving quick with it, that's a struggle.
Hell of a lot to ask, isn't it? Well, thanks ever so much for talking to us. Good luck for the rest
Cheers,
of the competition.
So Adam Bishop, currently in 4th place after the arm-over-arm truck pull, steps up to the start line in preparation for the Husafell Stone. 15-meter course lying ahead of him. But before he can begin to tackle that course, he's just taking his time to get to grips with the implement. You see him squatting down low in an attempt to use those big muscles of the hamstrings and glutes and quads, but really is having a difficult time getting the stone up off the ground. See him electing to wear those compression sleeves on his biceps and forearms, the only athlete we've seen choose to use that piece of apparatus to this point in the competition. Plenty of encouragement from his competitors. Now looking to Magnus Ver Magnusson for perhaps inspiration, perhaps some encouragement. Now the sleeves removed. The clock is ticking, but really that's irrelevant because Adam Bishop will want to register some distance. And now the stone has touched down. Adam Bishop's Husafell Stone event is over. And really, it couldn't have gone much worse for the 24-year-old. 0 distance, 0 points.
Adam, unfortunately. From Ireland, Pat.
So Pat O'Dwyer to the start line in 3rd place after the arm-over-arm truck pull. And incidentally, Adam Bishop so frustrated, so disappointed and annoyed after registering 0 distance in the Husafell Stone, choosing not to do an interview, instead taking the time to get his head together for the rest of the competition. That won't be a fate to befall Pat O'Dwyer, as he is already off and running. Rather duck-footed fashion down the first 15 meters of the course, he turns and going great guns, fighting for every conceivable inch. Pat O'Dwyer refusing to drop that stone and shuffling forwards, and then gives it an extra little shove with his quads because the distance will be measured from where the stone lands. Pat O'Dwyer moves into 1st place, 23.4 meters.
He's no rookie as Pat O'Dwyer has all the tricks in the book.
Pat, take us through that. That looks like one of the toughest events so far.
Yeah, I hate that event. So,
I mean, let's just get a look at your forearms here. Like some of the guys are going for the sleeves, and then we saw Bish struggle completely, had to take them off. And
I learned that lesson back in qualifiers. We did this last year in the qualifier, and I had sleeves as well, but it needs to be skin to skin.
Yeah.
And that way, when you're locked on, just go for it. And
no pain, no gain. Thanks, Pat.
So the man currently in 2nd place after one event, Tom Shaw, 35 years of age, 6 foot 5 inches tall, and his day job when he's not preparing and training for strongman events is as a drayman, delivering barrels of beer to restaurants and pubs and various other establishments, so used to lifting heavy weights, and he's got that 186 kilogram Husafell Stone up onto his abs with no problem whatsoever. Looking really comfortable down this first leg of this 15-meter course. And you see it's a pretty tight turn for the athletes there. 1-2 over the finish line and looking as comfortable as can possibly be when you've got 186 kilograms across your chest. The first man to complete 2 laps of the course. Turning once again, over 30 meters now, beginning to dig into the forearms, feeling the pain, feeling the burn. And that is a terrific effort from Tom Shaw. 38.85 meters, and he goes comfortably into 1st place.
Tom, wow. You all right, mate?
Yeah.
Go on, let's have a look at these arms.
Yeah, nice.
So what's the deal there? It's just taking all the skin off?
Yeah.
How's it feel?
It's a bit stingy.
You performed amazingly well there.
Yeah,
that's the furthest so far.
Yeah, about the first half I thought I was going to pass out because blood pressure just went through the roof when I got it up. So
it looks like the hardest bit is actually to stand up, really.
That's it. Once it's up, it's fine. But yeah, just this sort of stars. It's sort of funny feeling in your legs. Just keep going. Just keep going.
The UK strongest man.
So sauntering towards the start line in confident fashion is the leader after event 1, Ed Hall. In the first event of the day, the arm-over-arm truck pull, it was Hall who laid down the marker. That proved insurmountable. He's just seen his rival Tom Shaw produce a terrific effort to go 38.85 meters. Hall gets it up onto his chest, and now the man from Stoke is off and running. Approaching the finish line of the 15-meter course on this first lap, crosses it comfortably, turns, and looking in complete control.
I'll do second. Yes, it will.
And now Ed Hall, seemingly settling for second place, drops the stone. But remember, Nathan Llewellyn has the option of going again.
Eddie, your closest competitor at the moment is Tom Shaw, and he took that further than you. What went on?
Well, luckily I was going last, so I knew what I had to do. I couldn't really be arsed to go two and a bit way, so I was happy with second place with 1.5.
How do you think you're doing overall at the moment?
I think I'm in the lead still, so or joint first with Tom now, so it's in the top 4 go through, and that's all I'm interested in. I don't really care about winning the group.
How would you feel if you lost the competition to Tom Shaw?
It's not going to happen.
Right. Absolute certainty there. Nothing but ego from Eddie Hall. Cheers for talking to you. Well done. Thanks, Eddie.
So Nathan Llewellyn choosing to take the second run on this Husafell stone. Remember, he was the athlete who led off the group in this event, but misinterpreted the rules, and having crossed the 15-meter line on the first lap, started almost to moonwalk backwards. That against the rules, so he's taking the option of a second run. Eddie Hall thinks that he's done enough for second place, but can Nathan Llewellyn impact those scores and perhaps get himself onto top spot? Cheering himself on, grimacing with every stride, and cries of "come on, come on." He's beaten Ed Hall. 30 meters having gone 2 laps, he puts himself into second place. Ed Hall relegated to third.
Nathan, you chose to go again because of the sort of technical problem you had with the first one, and paid off.
Yeah. I don't know how. I think I just had a bit more better mental attitude, and managed. I knew what I had to beat, in other words.
Right.
So I think it worked off. So I'm glad I done it. It's taken out of me a bit, but I got a bit more aggression now.
Worth it in the end?
Worth it in the end,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Great.
So, great.
So on that second run, Nathan Llewellyn splitting the main competitors of Tom Shaw and Ed Hall with a terrific effort. 2 laps, 30 meters. He was concerned about a lack of energy, but he found plenty of it in that second run. But that terrific performance of 38.85 meters in the Husafell stone gives Tom Shaw sole ownership of first place. Ed Hall in second. Nathan Llewellyn has moved up to 4th. What a show of strength being exhibited by the reigning champion. And how intimidating will this be for the rest of the field? A blistering time, 34 seconds. He goes into first place. Nathan Llewellyn could well come into his own, and look at the pace he's setting down the first leg. He's electing to almost moonwalk with that Husafell stone backwards. It is a technique I've never seen before, and it's going to be interesting to see how the judges interpret that. Over 30 meters now, beginning to dig into the forearms, feeling the pain, feeling the burn, and that is a terrific effort from Tom Shaw. 38.85 meters, and he goes comfortably into first place. And now the man from Stoke is off and running and looking in complete control.
I'll do second. Yes, it will.
And now Ed Hall, seemingly settling for second place, drops the stone. But remember, Nathan Llewellyn has the option of going again. So Nathan Llewellyn choosing to take the second run, grimacing with every stride, and cries of "come on, come on." He's beaten Ed Hall. He puts himself into second place. Ed Hall relegated to third.
Up next is the Hercules Hold, and I'm here with 4-time world's strongest man, the man, Magnus or Magnusson. Magnus, tell us what this puts your body through and what we have to look at here.
Well, this is a lot of strain on the body. You're basically holding on to those cars where they're trying to pull you apart or rip you apart, and it's a lot of strain, especially on your grip.
These cars are 1,200 kilos each. Let's see who's got what it takes. Hercules Hold up next.
So Adam Bishop looking to atone perhaps for the nightmare that he endured during the Husafell stone. Failed to get to grips with that 186 kilogram implement, couldn't get it off the ground, 0 points. He'll be looking to go well here. So locked into that wide-legged stance. The grip appearing solid at the moment. Taking himself to a place in his mind where concentration is absolute. Ignoring any fatigue and strain that he'll be feeling and not betraying any signs of discomfort at this point. Getting difficult now, beginning to fight, but not looking to give in. And then the grip fails, 32.84 seconds. First competitor on the mark. He takes temporary charge of first place, but a good solid effort after a disappointment in the Husafell stone.
Adam Bishop fresh from the Hercules Hold.
Yes.
So you're first up, is that a disadvantage?
Yeah, massively. I was really hoping not to be first on that one. It gives the guys a time to really kind of push for, and they know exactly what they want to do, but that's how it goes really. Just hold on as long as I could there.
How do you think it went?
Yeah, straight from the start your hands are burning, so it's a really tough event, but as long as I could have held it.
So Johnny Kelly, currently in 5th place after 2 events. Man who trains alongside the legendary Glenn Ross. So will have had plenty of opportunity to practice the various events that are being used in this year's UK Strongest Man event. Remember, the time that he is aiming for, laid down by Adam Bishop, is 32.84 seconds. And so far, Johnny Kelly betraying not a flicker of emotion or discomfort. Completely focused on the task at hand, and if his hands are burning, if his grip is beginning to give way, well, he's doing a good job at masking any discomfort to this point in the competition. Goes into the lead now, just beginning to shake ever so slightly, but otherwise looking in really good shape. A scream now, really beginning to burn, 46.28 seconds. That is a really impressive time in the Hercules Hold. First place, and that will take some beating.
I'm really intrigued by though is that you looked so calm and serene for ages, and then it just gets to a point and you just go, yeah, and you drop the, what's that about?
Yeah, you try and think of something else, keep your mind focused. Just think of something else, not 2 cars in your hand trying to pull you apart, but eventually it's going to get there.
So what is going through your head personally? What are you thinking of to try and keep yourself in the game?
I try and think of something relaxing, like going on holidays or something like that. And
where was this particular holiday?
Well, I'm going away with the wife and kid next week, so
you were thinking
about that, yeah.
And that's sweet. So, yeah. Johnny Kelly, family man.
So Pat O'Dwyer steps up to the plate. Has been really consistent in the 2 completed events so far for that 3rd place overall. 3rd place in the arm-over-arm truck pull. 3rd place in the Husafell stone. How will he fare here in the Hercules Hold for time? The whistle goes. You heard Johnny Kelly, his compatriot, just divulging some of the techniques that these athletes use in an effort to take their mind off the task at hand, which is 2 1,200 kilogram cars pulling in opposite directions. The time has been laid down by his compatriot. 46.28 seconds the time to beat. Just looking a little bit uncomfortable now is Pat O'Dwyer, really shaking and beginning to suffer. 29.95 seconds. That puts him at the bottom of the athletes who have completed this task so far. Disappointment for Pat O'Dwyer, who has been so consistent to this point.
I was talking to some of the guys and they were saying that, you know, every single one of these holds sort of differs because of the way it's set up and the you know, the direction of the force and all of that.
Of course, yeah.
How's that one for you compared to other holds?
Normally I'm very good at holds. I said just a standard one, pick it up and stand up in it and good. That now was my first time doing it, so hopefully now I can get me in the points.
Good man.
Thanks.
So the defending champion Ed Hall currently in 2nd place after 2 completed events. Remember, he thought he had done enough to secure 2nd place in the Husafell stone event, but that was before Nathan Llewellyn completed his 2nd run to push him down to 3rd. Just an interesting technique of really wrapping his fingers and thumb around that bar. and electing for a wide-legged squat stance to keep these cars in position. Concentration absolute. Focusing the mind, disregarding the pain and discomfort, and looking really good so far. Remember, 46.28 seconds is the leading time laid down by Johnny Kelly. But Ed Hall has said during one of his post-event interviews that it's not all about winning every event at this stage. He just wants to do enough to qualify for the final. The top 4 athletes from this event will do so. And that is a solid time of 37.24 seconds. Moves into second place behind the impressive marker laid down by Johnny Kelly.
I feel like you could have done longer.
Probably could have, mate. I broke my knuckle a few weeks back, so.
Dare I ask how that happened?
No.
Nope. Ed Hall, everybody.
So Nathan Llewellyn currently resides in 4th place after 2 completed events. But remember, he did 2 runs of the Husafell stone after misinterpreting the rules on his opening run. How much energy will that have drained from the Welshman? Said that he was feeling a little bit fatigued at the start of day 2. And again, displaying and demonstrating that aggression that he uses to psych himself up. But how much will his energy reserves have been depleted after doing 2 runs with that 186 kilogram Husafell stone? Discomfort and distress increasing for Llewellyn now. Can he tough it out and hold on? 27 seconds. Currently in last place with only Tom Shaw left to compete in this event.
The first time I ever done it.
Oh, is it?
Never ever done it. Never even, can't practice in the gym, obviously. Can't get 2 cars in the gym. So, basically I didn't even know where to put my arms. I was just going by what I seen the boys before me. I felt pretty, the first 10 seconds, thought I'd go all day, but it started kicking in then. But I don't know if that was a good time or not. I don't know where I stand at the moment.
So the event leader, after 2 completed challenges, Tom Shaw, 6'5" tall, saw how Ed Hall adopted a wide-legged, low squat stance to produce what is currently the 2nd leading time of 37.24 seconds. Tom Shaw electing to stand tall and lock out the knees. The grip going to be tested. The forearms will be tested. But Tom Shaw, encouraged by the crowd, looking incredibly comfortable right now. Left arm just beginning to shake almost imperceptibly, but then now rather violently. The grip fails at 31.18 seconds. That'll be a 4th place finish for Tom Shaw.
Calm. Get a load of these mitts. Look at these bear claws over here. I mean, the forearms are pumped. I mean, like, what? Just as an example, just there. That's the blood flow we're talking about there. I saw that left arm in particular shaking like crazy.
Sometimes my left just goes for some reason. I have no idea why. Normally it should be realistic. It should be my right because I tore my bicep. But
you're a tall guy, and the downward force of that must have been tricky.
Yeah. On hindsight, it's always a wonderful thing. I should have maybe squatted down a bit more, but I've never tried that apparatus. I'm relatively happy. I didn't come last.
Yeah, you've done enough injury-free going into the final.
Yeah. I've had a 2nd, a 1st, maybe 4th or 5th there. So just go steady here.
Yeah.
Then I'm in.
Awesome.
Yeah, happy days. Cheers.
So Johnny Kelly taking maximum points with a much-needed victory in the Hercules Hold for time. 46.28 seconds puts him top on that event. More consistency demonstrated by Ed Hall. Adam Bishop bounced back well after his disappointments in the Husafell stone, and that has brought about some changes in the overall lead. Ed Hall and Tom Shaw switching places in the top 2 positions, but it is incredibly tight in that battle for the 4th and final qualification spot. So we've got 3 events completed and just 1 to go, and the battle for qualification is really heating up. The consistency demonstrated by Ed Hall and Tom Shaw has stood them in really good stead. Ed Hall dominating in the arm-over-arm truck pull to take first place. Tom Shaw taking top spot in the Husafell stone. Johnny Kelly did his qualification chances no harm at all with a really impressive Hercules Hold for time where he took top spot. But how costly will Adam Bishop's failure to register any points in the Husafell stone prove to be in his battle to take a qualification spot for the final?
Now the next event is called the Power Stairs, and given that Magnus here is from Iceland and he's going to describe it, I'd prefer to call it the Stairway to Valhalla. Do you know, you look like a particularly muscular canary right now.
I bet I do, yeah.
How does this bad boy work then? What's this
Well,
about?
basically, you got 5 steps to go up. You got 3 implements, 200 kilos, 210 and 220, and they're gonna have to go up on top as fast as you can get them. We'll measure each one, time them. If you don't get them, we'll count the steps you get.
Both of them currently tied in 5th place, 7 points apiece. And this head-to-head duel going to be absolutely crucial. They're off and running. The first object, 200 kilograms. Up the 5 steps and to the top of the pyramid is where these athletes are looking to get to. And it's Bishop who gets there with a slight advantage. Llewellyn just losing time on that final shove to get it into safe position on top of the podium. And Bishop again with just a slight advantage. And Llewellyn has lost the top weight on the object. Takes some time to put it back in. That has cost him valuable seconds. Bishop now with a significant lead. He's continuing to keep momentum and increase his advantage. One more big effort from Bishop gets it into top spot. 40.45 seconds for the 24-year-old from Surrey. And now turning his efforts to encourage Llewellyn in his effort to get the final mammoth 220 kilogram weight up onto that top step. Needs one more shove, and he finally gets it there. 55.34 seconds. Sporting fist bump between the two. Is that enough to book their place in the final 4?
Adam, Nathan, straight from the Power Stairs event, how was that?
Yeah, tough. It's a bit of a long bus, that one. Just go as fast as you can. Gotta hope for the best in the next results now.
Nathan, what was the kilo? I noticed you dropped a weight there. What happened?
I don't really know. I think I bounced it too hard. The weight come off. Obviously, we got to put it back on then, so it cost me a bit of time. But I'm happy with that.
2 podium finishers from Ireland's strongest man. Currently residing in 4th and 3rd respectively, Pat O'Dwyer and Johnny Kelly. Now hurling that 200 kilogram weight up the 5 steps in an effort to get it onto top spot. Johnny Kelly and Pat O'Dwyer moving really efficiently with that first 200 kilogram weight, and this appears to be quick. Kelly now just eking out a slight advantage over his Irish compatriot, and it's a 2-legged bunny hop up onto the steps, the technique being employed by Kelly. And again, well, they're neck and neck now. O'Dwyer has made up valuable time, but Kelly got back down the stairs more quickly, his athleticism coming to the fore as one of the lighter competitors. Now Adam Bishop has beaten both of these 2 men. They're going to beat Nathan Llewellyn, but where will they have finished? It's going to be really tight between O'Dwyer and Adam Bishop for that 4th and final qualification spot.
Lads, that was probably the closest contest we're likely to see in this. Awesome from both of you. Very, very close, but Pat, you just pipped it.
I still don't know if it's good enough to get me through the final, but we'll see anyway. I give it my best.
I was looking at your technique, and you got this. I mean, you were hopping. I mean, your agility there was phenomenal. It was like, and are you deliberately leaving it a little bit back so you've got the clearance for the next one?
Yeah, just if you leave it a little back, as you swing up, the block will start to come forward, so it's easier to set in the next platform. Just
awesome stuff, guys. Well done.
Thanks.
So plenty of banter between the top 2 athletes on the leaderboard after 3 completed events. And it continues as they go back to back ahead of the Power Stairs. Qualification for the final secured, and remember with the rain delay that will take place later today. So perhaps just taking the opportunity to get the muscles working, get the muscles moving. But that appears to be it. 2 steps for Tom Shaw, 1 step for Ed Hall, But you can bet that things will be a lot more serious come the UK Strongman final, for which they've both qualified comfortably.
Eddie and Tom, that was a stupendous performance there on the. That's sarcasm. What happened?
Yeah.
What's that about?
Me and Tom have already qualified and we're through, so we just decided to give each other an easy time, and I think we both drew first on the group, so we're pretty happy with that.
Save some energy.
Exactly, yeah.
I guess strategically you've got to go straight into the finals, within half an hour or so, and that's a big part for you.
Definitely. Yeah, save the energy, especially after last night.
Good thinking.
Yeah, so happy
What
days.
an interview.
Yeah, I know.
What an interview.
It's flowing at the minute, isn't it?
Like treacle.
We haven't had enough caffeine yet.
Tom Shaw and Eddie Hall.
So Adam Bishop with a really impressive showing to win the Power Steers event, the final event of qualification. But what is crucial is that Pat O'Dwyer has taken second spot by less than a second ahead of Johnny Kelly. And when that translates to the final qualifiers for the UK Strongest Man final, it means that it's O'Dwyer who squeaks into the final with 14 points. Adam Bishop eliminated by just one. 13 points for Bishop, 14 for O'Dwyer. Bishop and Llewellyn are eliminated.
Bish, first time here and playing with the big boys, missed out by 1 point. How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm absolutely gutted. The Husafell stone yesterday, not managed to pick that up, really cost me. That 1 point would have taken me through to the final. And with the events being as they are, I really kind of fancy my chances, but that's how it goes.
Coming within 1 point of qualification on your first time since coming from the juniors, I mean, you have to be happy with that. You proved you belong.
Yeah, well, I've had fun and stuff. Obviously, I can be disappointed just because of the events in the final, but that's the way strongman goes. Sometimes you get the calls go your way, sometimes they don't go your way. So
time's on your side.
Yeah, I got plenty of time.
All right.
Cheers, thank you.
I'm obviously disappointed I didn't go through, but I am over the moon. I've only just come out of novices, so this is basically my second Opens event, and for me to do that, in all fairness, is pretty good. I've hit all my goals. My goal was to get through day one and come between 9 and 12, so obviously I've done that. So I'm over the moon, to be honest.
So what are your plans now for the next year, leading up to next year's competition?
Chill out for a bit, because the last 8 months have been pure hell with training. Chill out for a little bit, and then obviously concentrate on the Welsh, and hopefully qualify for this next year.
Awesome.
So it's going well.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Thanks,
Well, that brings us to the end of the Group A semi-finals. Eddie Hall and Tom Shaw storming into the lead there and very sensibly conserving energy on that last event.
That's right, and it puts them at a huge advantage considering everyone else had to do that event right before the finals. We say goodbye to the guys who sadly didn't make it, but now we look forward to the final.
Make sure you tune in for more UK's Strongest Man.